Hello, everyone. This is Lenard the Guzman. I'm here in my Halloween mood, my haunted house, here with Emily Robinson on the Life After D podcast. And so we're here. Weird times here in the U.S. We got I'm looking forward to this VP debate.
Yeah, the debate, that'll be big.
That'd be big. Economy's kind of weird because it kind of curtails into divorce because a lot of people are having trouble quarantine, and as we'll go over the topics, it's kind of something that comes up a lot. So yeah, is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. Yeah, divorce rates are definitely up for like all my colleagues that I've talked to. I think it's got to be the quarantine and the uncertainty of the world and society. And it's just a scary, stressful time for a lot of people.
Okay, so let's get to it. So this part of the show, we're going to go over things that are online, articles. A lot of times we run into celebrity divorce gossip and stuff that comes up. So let's get to it. Here we go. So Market Watch, marketwatch.com. My husband of 20 years is having an affair. He told friends he wants a divorce and does not want to pay alimony. What should I do? Let's see, let's get to a little bit more. Some of his colleagues have been advising him on ways to get out of the marriage without having to pay alimony. We own our home and have some retirement accounts. He's substantially better, bigger than mine. Early in our marriage, we decided I would stay home for a few years to raise our young children. As they got older, I became employed in a low-paying job that suited our family's needs. I've worked steadily for 10 years. This is a huge gap between us, as my husband has more education and an uninterrupted work history as he's continued to climb the corporate ladder. What can I do to protect myself and my children's financial interests? Should this have been done prior to confronting him?
Well, those are all good questions. I mean, every case is different, so there's no general answer. But nobody wants to pay alimony. Nobody wants to pay child support. So a lot of times people freak out because their spouse says, well, I'm not going to pay you a penny. Well, everybody says that. Who wants to pay that, right? So that's why you have the court and court orders and the law. So I think the best thing that people in that situation can do is just have a consultation with an attorney, get some real legal advice, find out what your rights are so that you don't have to be freaked out by whatever your spouse is saying, because yeah, that's what they want, great, but that's not the law. So I want $1 million in my savings account, but it doesn't mean it's there. So you need to get some real advice and find out what is really likely to happen and what's reasonable.
Yeah, that'd be nice. $1 million in my bank account.
I know, right? Who doesn't want that?
All right. The next article we got. This is kind of okay. So Shelby County, it's in Memphis. So divorce filings are up across the country. Shelby County is no exception. Unemployment filings, eviction filings, aggravated assaults, and hospitalizations are all up in Shelby County in the age of the COVID-19 pandemic. Data from the county clerk shows divorce filings can be added to that list. Shelby County Health Department Director Elisa Hoshalter referenced the rise in divorces in Tuesday's joint task for meeting, characterizing the trend as one of the many areas of life that has been impacted by overall emotional distress of the pandemic. Divorce filings from Chancery Court, when compared to the same time last year, show little difference in the rate of filings, but circuit filings have risen in the past 3 months. In Shelby County, divorce proceedings can occur in either court and are assigned based on the court schedule. In 2019, there were 2,534 divorces in Shelby County between the two courts, averaged out 48.7 divorces were filed every week in 2019. As of Tuesday, 2,037 have been filed in 2020, or 52.2 per week. July, August, September saw 439 divorce filings in 2019. In 2020, the same months brought 573 divorce filings in Shelby County. So Memphis, Tennessee, I haven't been there, but every inch of the United States seems to be affected.
Yeah, I've been to Graceland, which is awesome. And I'd really like to go to Nashville, but yeah, I think this is everywhere. I don't think it's just California. I mean, people are stressed being stuck at home everywhere, having no break from their spouse, no personal time, no break from their family. It's not natural, and it's not how it should be. And I don't think this is unique to one state. It's probably, my guess would be it's happening everywhere in the world, not just here.
Yeah, my friend in Thailand and even in Singapore, they're affected. Like I went to, I think, I'm trying to think. This is when you got to travel. So I think I traveled in December last, and even like Phuket, Thailand is affected because of heavy tourism economy, and I mean they're affected. So yeah, so even the beaches there are like although there's still traveling going on. So
I mean, some places you can still travel. You know, a lot of places don't have the quarantine. Places like Florida are completely open. Disney World's open, but yeah, a lot of places you still can't go.
Okay, this is Yahoo Life. Whether or not you're a fan of Christina Anstead, her IG post about divorce and anxiety is gold. I gotta follow her. So she goes, I've always been told I talk and share too much. It's just the way I'm wired. This is written by Kate Bingham Smith. I tried to reel it in for a bit, but it seems like I'm wearing scratchy jeans that are crooked and give me FITO. I hate that feeling no one likes to feel like they can't move freely in their own skin. Let's get to the juicy part here. I've written about divorce a lot. There are some people who have looked down on that, and I think I should button it up. But for every person who has told me to shut my lips, I won't. There have been 10 who have told me that I'm being honest has helped them in a big way. Let's see. While I'm scrolling my way through the internet the other day, I came across a headline about Christina Anstead. To be completely honest, I didn't know who that was until I saw her picture. I watched her on TV a few times. Let's see. What caught my eye was the headline: Christina Anstead candidly discussing divorces, setbacks, and a refreshing prank post. Let's see here. So quote, I never thought I would have one divorce, let alone two. She shared, I never thought I would have two baby daddies, but sometimes life throws us curveballs. Instead of getting stuck in these setbacks, I choose to look at these challenges as opportunities to grow. So while some may judge me and throw around rumors about me, most of you support me. That says a lot about this world and where we are headed. I don't think anyone walks down the aisle thinking they will get divorced. When it happens to you, it will make you feel like you're living a bad dream, even if it's not what you want. And it's a long article here, but I'll stop here. I live in a state of anxiousness, and I'm so used to it that when it's not there, I tend to feel a void and hop into something that causes a feeling I'm used to. This can be good and bad, and it's one of the things I'm working on, breaking the pattern of.
Well, you know, there's a lot there, but I think that the idea and the goal is like you've got to be flexible. Life isn't going to be what you expect. You know, people don't expect to have two marriages, two baby daddies, like she said, but you got to kind of roll with the punches. Life gives you what it gives you, and it's not always going to meet your expectations. You know, one judge that I have appeared in front of a lot says that the hallways of the court are filled with broken promises, unmet expectations. And it's true. You know, you wouldn't be in a divorce or in a court or unhappy if there weren't broken promises and unmet expectations on both sides. But instead of just, being depressed over it and, having it ruin your life, you have to turn it around and find new opportunities and new ways to be happy in life. And whether that's through having therapy or group therapy or some way to just see the world in a different light, you've got to get a perspective change, which usually does require a third party's help. It's not easy. And move on.
The next article comes from In Touch, Mary Kate Olsen. You know, she wasn't in this new Full House redo. Like, she's probably like, well, it looks like she married rich and she's like, I don't need this. So, well, anyway, let's go through it. Mary Kate Olsen ditches wedding ring during NYC dinner outing amid Oliver Sarkozy divorce. Leaving behind a memento, Mary Kate Olsen opted to not wear her wedding ring while stepping out for sushi and red wine at New York City restaurant amid her divorce from her estranged husband, Oliver Sarkozy. The row designer, 34, noticeably ditched her wedding band in photos captured this weekend, which were obtained by Daily Mail. Also, Olsen only had a statement on her pinky finger while clad in a button-up coat, black slacks, and a canary-colored beanie. The former Full House actress appears to be taking some time for herself after calling it quits with her husband of 5 years. After their breakup, Olsen is in no rush to start dating again, an insider told Entertainment Tonight in September. The ink is not even dry on her divorce, the source added. And there's no shortage of things in her life that'll bring her joy right now. Mary Kate is naturally a homebody, but lately she's been pushing herself to get out and keep busy.
Yeah, so I have to admit, I watched the Fuller House remake because I loved that show growing up, and I was obsessed with it. How does John Stamos still look like he's like 30? It's so unfair. Like, but anyway, so I did watch that, and they weren't on it, and they did make a lot of jokes about them not being on it. And who knows why. But, I seem to recall, was it Mary Kate's the one getting the divorce, right?
Yeah.
I think her husband's, she is, right? And they haven't been married that long, but they were famous so young. And a lot of times when you get famous that young, you don't get a normal life. You grow up too quick, or you don't get to experience childhood. I mean, I remember they used to make all those kiddie movies when they were younger. So there's no way they had a normal childhood. So I think sometimes that causes people to not know themselves and who they are, or feel like they missed out on an important part of life and growing up. And it's really hard to be in any relationship, let alone a marriage, when you haven't even gotten to live your own life yet. So, it's not surprising news. It's sad anytime a relationship breaks up, but maybe it's for the best. Maybe she needs something different.
Yeah, they coming back with a new season. I know, like, everyone came back except the twins. Like, that would have been, they made the show. It's like, it's not the same. Like,
I know it's not coming back. I know, bummer.
All right, so this part of the show, we're gonna go over posts of, what people going through divorce, life after divorce, going through divorce, maybe because a lot of, people go through maybe financial difficulty. So let's get into the post here. The first post, I miss our family. The waves never go away. I've met amazing women who any guy would be lucky to have, yet I miss her terribly. I'm doing the work, moving forward, working on myself, remembering who I was before the heartbreak, but we have kids. I wouldn't have had children with someone I didn't think I'd spend my life with. Today really sucks. I miss her so much, and I'm reminded of her by just looking at her children. She was, and I fear will always be the love of my life.
Oh, well, sometimes someone can be the love of your life, but doesn't mean that they're the right partner for you at that time, or that you can meet each other's needs. And it has to be mutual. You have to both be the love of each other's lives. It has to be something that can happen mutually. And if it's not right for one person, then it's not going to work. But the fact that you do have children together and they're a reminder of what you did have. Like I always say, like, don't look at the past as wasted, or, it didn't work out, so it was a waste. It wasn't a waste. It's what you needed at that time in your life. And you got beautiful children out of it. And now you guys need something different, and you'll move on and address that.
Agreed. There's these weird posts that come up. Like, I bet you in like 2018, 2019, these posts would never come up. So this one, taking back the space. My ex-husband utilized our basement as his hideout from the family. He would escape for me and our son to the specific room, leaving me to care for everything. The sound of him going down those stairs was triggering for feelings of abandonment and loneliness, along with intense rage. I'm taking that damn space back. It's been empty since he moved out in December, and I cleaned it since he was a slob, and now it's becoming my workout room. I bought a treadmill, and I'm putting my TV down there, and I'm taking it back. Feels good.
Well, I think men need a man cave. And I think women need a women cave. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like, you each have your own room, but everybody needs a space they feel comfortable in. Like, it has to be a place where you feel like you can unwind and relax. I mean, it could even be like the living room or the office, but like for me, it's my bedroom. Like, it's designed in a way like that I feel like it's aesthetically pleasing, and I'd rather work in there than our office, which is filled with hockey things for my husband. So while I love hockey, it doesn't give me that like serene feeling I need when I'm working. So I think it's important to have your own space, and I think COVID has made that really hard, especially if your own space is not in your house or you're not able to actually share space easily. But I say go for it. Take over that basement and make it how you want it to be.
Yeah, I wish I had a man cave. It would be my safe space where I wouldn't have to clean up. I could just leave clothes everywhere.
Well, that too. You may have different like cleanliness requirements. Like, I always want whatever room I'm in to smell like potpourri, and my husband's like, why does it smell like flowers in here? So you have to like, yeah, he wants to leave papers everywhere, and I'm like, oh, I can't stand this. So exactly, need a man cave.
All right, so that's all the time we have for today. That went super fast. I think
It did.
Yeah, I had like coffee, and maybe the energy was good or something.
Well, I'm on coffee number 2 of the day.
Coffee number 2. I think I limited at 3, so I'm at 2. So yeah, we're here in October, October 7th. In California, it's like Halloween used to be cooler. So
Last few Halloweens have been so hot. So every year we go to Mickey's Halloween party, which obviously is not happening this year.
Mm-mm.
But I remember for the last few years, it's so hot. We can't even wear costumes because you're just dying, sweating to death. So I don't remember it being like that when I was a kid, but it has
Nope.
been hot every Halloween. Yeah, it's brutal.
So yeah, let's close the show here. Do we have any things people are in this kind of part, like, I guess I would say, like, in this part of their life, but it's like, I mean, like, one of my suits got chewed up by like boss, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm not going to any weddings, so we're kind of in like standby mode. I think this is how we are in the U.S. So should we, as far as like, you know, divorce, courts, what do you advise?
well, look, I think that as, our counties in Southern California are moving out of, I think it's the purple, like the really danger zone. Like my kids got to go on a playground for the first time yesterday in 6 months. They were so excited. I think, we need to just sort of start gearing back up towards things getting a little more normal. But I think we need to keep in mind it's not going to get totally normal to how it was before. And I think, something I'm trying to do is try to remember that even when things do get back to more normal, keep what you've learned during COVID, with you. Like schedule more phone and Zoom meetings. They'll make your life so much easier. Don't commute 50 miles when you don't have to. It keeps the air so much clearer. I mean, if we didn't have the fires, I think we'd see a big decrease in smog due to, less commuting, less traffic accidents. Like there actually have been some good things to come out of this. Court can be virtual. You don't have to drive to court and stand in the long line and be in a courtroom with 20 other people that may be sick. So, let's try to keep some of the good things we've learned and hopefully they'll stay in place so that we can have a healthier future. And I think we just sort of need to ease back into life, but maybe make some changes.
Yeah, you purple. This whole that reminds me. Like, so I'm on like Mike Garcia's. He's a congressman. I think in not in my district, but it's like on the border.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, I don't know. You said purple, and then I read an article about that because he has to run again.
Oh,
No, I don't know if you follow it, but whatever. There's another podcast for politics. Yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in on the Life After D podcast. See you next week, and trick or treat.
yes. Trick or treat safely.
Trick
Like
or
in your car.
virtually, or just
Virtual
get the
trick or
candy
treat.
delivered.
God, can you imagine that you're a kid and someone's like, here's a virtual Reese's Pieces. It's like the worst Halloween ever.
Yeah, like a coin, like a video game coin, like a Mario Party coin. All right.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.